Thanks for coming on No Referees Podcast channel to view this episode with Mario Elie. I'm your host, Evarist Akajobi. Unfortunately, my video was corrupted, so you only get to hear me talk in the background, but you got Mario Elie's video working perfectly, and that's what you came here to see. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the No Referees Podcast. I'm your host, Evarist Akajobi. We're doing a virtual podcast today. We're in the quarantine life. We got a special guest with us today from Houston, Texas. The man that produces all threes on the court, 3 NBA championships, the triplets he got.
Exactly. 3 is a good number, folks.
You can find him on Twitter at Mario Elie1 and on IG at Mario Elie17. Our family and friend, Mr. Mario Elie. What up, brother?
Good to see you, man. Thank you for having me.
How's it going? How you doing with this quarantine life?
Me and my wife are doing a good job of finding things to do. It was tough at first, but we got the kids on a schedule. That made it easier. My wife's working from home, so I'm getting that good home cooking from her, doing chores around the house, working the kids out. We got a new foster dog, so I've been taking her on a walk. So just trying to stay busy. It's tough with no sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to watching sports. So there's no sports. So Netflix, me and the wife, we pick movies every weekend to watch.
What's popping on Netflix for you right now? Tell me what you binging on right now on Netflix.
What I'm binging on right now. We saw Queen and Slim, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
We watched Selma the other night, but we really ain't get into the series.
Okay, yeah, you gotta get into some series. I got a good one for you to watch. I don't know if y'all got Hulu. You gotta watch For Life.
For Life?
Yeah, that's popping right now. Yeah,
okay,
get to that.
I'm gonna check that out. But I'm a big Wire fan. I sort of caught it in the middle. So I'm gonna have to start it over and watch the whole package. I'm a big fan of that.
I feel you. So what's life like been for you since retirement? I know you coached for quite a few years.
Yeah, been coaching 10 years. Yeah. Last spot was Orlando, so I've been away from the family a lot. So it's been good to be home these last couple of years. Being able to take my kids to school, being able to take them to practice, to their games. It's been good. It's been great. But I'm ready to get back to work. They're about to go to college soon, so my wife getting tired of me, so I'm ready to go back to work.
You messing up the house and stuff.
Yeah, she's like, get your butt up out of here. Get a
job. So speaking of working, what do you feel the difference, you back in the day, you played in one area, you coach in another area, you got kids in this era. What do you think is the difference in the areas that you've been a part of with basketball?
Just, right now you got a lot of these specialty coaches. You got to coach for everything now. Back when I grew up and playing in the park, you just played in the park. That's how you got better, going to the park. I grew up in New York City, so me and my brother, we had our little 5, so we would go to different parks around the city. And if you know New York City, if you lose, you done for the day. So we had a good 5, and we go to every park around the city. We'll be on a call from 9 to 5 running the park. So we done with this park. Let's go see where we can go the next day to play. So that's how I got my education. And that's where you got the toughness and swag from being in New York, no rim, no nets. My sons, I take them to play ball around in Houston. Dad, they ain't got no nets. I'm like, dude, we had no nets growing up in New York. These kids want nets. They want indoor courts. They don't like playing outside. These kids are spoiled now.
Growing up on that New York playgrounds, you had Rucker Park. Growing up, I grew up in Dallas, so I heard about all them things.
Rucker
I thought
Park,
it was like a misnomer.
Towers, a lot of great West 4th Street. A lot of legends. You got guys who are just great players, but just didn't want to go to school. They chose another route. But back in my day, you go to a summer league, summer park game in New York, it's 2,000-3,000 people in the stands. Kids hanging from trees, kids hanging from the fence, because all the top guys in the city would play in these tournaments because they knew it was going to be a packed house. You got guys, Durant been through there, Kobe been through there, Baron Davis been through there, AI been through there. A lot of the top NBA guys, Kareem, not Kareem, Julius Erving. When Julius Erving came back in the day, that It was like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people in the park. So guys know where the best court is. You know, the best players always want to go play in front of the best crowds. And what's great about New York crowds, you got music bumping. You got guys on the microphone giving you nicknames, making fun of you if you get dunked on.
What was your nickname back in the day?
Oh, the Jedi Knight, boy. I was flying through the air back then, dunking on cats, man. The Jedi. They called me the Jedi, baby. When you get a nickname in the parks of New York, that means you're doing a little something.
The Jedi flying through the air on the hook.
Yeah, man. I used to catch some bodies back in the day, man.
So speaking of back in the day, I know when I first started watching basketball when I was a teenager in the mid-'90s, I remember you had the full set of hair back then. You was with the Warriors back then.
The part, the beard.
And you used to dunk on them boys back then.
Yeah, I had everything back there, but it was funny in '94 when I was with the Rockets. I still have my hair, my beard. So I bet Vernon Maxwell. I said, man, Vernon, if we go to the finals this year, I'm gonna cut all my hair off. And Lord knows we got to the finals, and when I got to practice, Vernon had the clippers ready to chop me up, and he chopped me up. He did. So that's when the bald head started. I said, it looks pretty good, so I just kept it like that.
I feel like 1 year you went from having a full set of hair, or maybe a little, a little receding, and then next year you just straight bald.
Yeah, I lost that bet, and V-Max was like, yeah, here you go. You got to cut it off. So I did end up liking it, and just kept it like that.
So growing up, like I said, I'm from Arlington, Texas, a suburb of Dallas. Back then, the Mavericks was trash, to be honest with you. But the whole state of Texas rooted for y'all's Rockets. And I had two guys on my wall. I had Larry Johnson, because he was from Dallas, and I had Akeem Olajuwon, because I'm Nigerian-American. So, I was instantly gravitated towards the Rockets. Y'all played the Summit back then, and it used to be packed back in the day. Y'all had the cool colors on y'all jersey. What was it like playing with Dream and being a part of seeing him every day inside and out?
I've been blessed in my NBA career to play with some great players. Of course, I was in San Antonio with Tim and Dave. Yep. I played with three of the greatest big men to ever walk the floor. But out of those three big men, that number 34 boy was a beast, and he was a problem on a nightly basis. And he made me to play. He allowed me to get these open threes, because you get two or three guys on Dream, he's kicking the ball out. You play Dream one-on-one, you saw what happened in '95 in the Alamo Dome. David Robinson got the MVP in '95. And you talk about man being mad and focused. That dude, you saw that. If everybody saw that series, it was total domination by Olajuwon. 35 points.
That was like barbecue chicken. That was barbecue chicken before barbecue chicken. Yeah.
Exactly. That's like Shaq said. That was some real barbecue chicken. That was some Nigerian chicken. He was eating that.
Some jollof rice he was eating, huh?
Yeah, he was eating good. He was eating that good Texas barbecue back there, boy, I tell you. That was just great, man. Great players step up in big-time environments. That's what the Dream was. He was on that Michael Jordan level. That's how good he was. He was that good.
What was Mario Elie's pregame routine like back in the day, especially going through the championship years? What did you get to the gym? Take me through shoot around, your pregame rituals, the nap or whatever. Tell me what was
Great question. Never took phone calls except it was from my mom on game day. Real focus on game day. Would get a good meal in the morning, get to shoot around, get the game plan, go home, take my nap, 2-3 hour nap, eat around 3:30, 4. You always want to eat maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours before the game. Mm-hmm. So I would eat pasta, meat, because, when you play, you got to make sure you got the carbs in your system.
Right.
So got to the gym, hour and a half before the game, had my ritual warm-up, get some shots up, get a good stretch. And I was ready to go and always was focused. Game day was just amazing for me. Just locked in. Like I said, didn't talk to a lot of people on game day. If it was only my mom, that was the only person I wanted to talk to. She would call me and wish me luck. But always was locked in on a game day. I always knew I had the toughest assignment. Watched a lot of film, guarded a lot of great players, so I had to be prepared. So that was a basic day for me, on a game day. Just being really focused, not really talking to a lot of people, and and really focusing on the job at hand at 7:30 whenever we played.
You talk about you always had the toughest assignment. I know that was your calling card before people really saw the kiss of death shot we'll get into in a minute. You know, your calling card was on the defensive end. You know, back in the 90s when it was a whole completely different game where hand checking was allowed and the body dudes with your, your forearm. You know, what was one of the guys or a few guys that was some of your toughest covers out there on the perimeter?
God, man, there was a bunch of guys that Jordan, of course, Gary Payton, who else? Sean Elliott was a problem. Glenn Rice, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, a young Grant Hill, Jerry Stackhouse. I guarded Magic and Bird, even though they were in the later stages. Guarded both those guys. I started with Golden State, having to guard Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, and Tim Hardaway on a daily basis in practice. And I really credit those guys for really making me a good NBA player,
That's actually where I actually started to know about who Mario Elie was when I was a younger guy, because Mitch Richmond was one of my favorite players growing up, ironically, not because of his talent, because we share the same birthday. That's the only guy I know in NBA that has the same birthday as me. So I gravitated towards him. So the run-tmc days, that's where I actually met Mario Elie back when I was a younger kid.
Yeah, those were some fun days. I remember us playing San Antonio when I got to the league. San Antonio was the 2nd seed. We were the 7th seed. We went up there and bossed them up at the Hemisphere Arena. Boy.
The Hemisphere Arena was popping back then.
Oh, my God. What you call the crowd? What's the bums? The baseline?
The baseline bums.
Yeah, boy, they were loud. Boy, that arena got loud. When David flying down the middle, dunking, I mean, they had a great team. I mean, it was David. It was Terry Cummins, Sean Elliott. They had Willie Anderson and Rod Strickland in the backcourt. They had the general coming off the bench. Yeah, it was a tough round matchup, and want to give Don Nelson credit. He was one of the guys who originally started the small lineup. He started me at 4 that series. I'm guarding Terry Cummins, 6'9", 250. And here I am, 6'4", 210, just getting in the league wet. But we figured it out and beat them somehow, man. So that was fun playing with those guys. Those were some good old days.
Man, back in the day, those were all the stuff you see that's gone on since you started your career in Golden State, to see the success they've had over the years. Does that make you feel like proud that you were one of those first guys that really started that?
No question. It's still when I got some of my best friends are still in the Bay. So when I go out there, I would go out to a game sometime when I wasn't coaching, and people would recognize me. There's great sports fans out in the Bay Area. And they're like, Mary, I remember you from the run-tmc days, you, Mitch, and Tim. And those were fun days. We were averaging 118 points a game. I know a lot of guys are putting a lot of points, but we were putting points when the game was physical, like you mentioned. We were putting up 116, 118 points on these boys. Somebody will score on us. That ball was out off the court in a minute. Tim pulling up a 3, Mitch pulling up. I'm running the lane, Chris pulling up. So love that offense, man. It was sort of a Mike D'Antoni type of offense.
Right.
You open, Don Nelson let you get your game on. It was fun playing for him.
So who talked more trash, Gary Payton or Jordan?
Oh, GP talk all day. Talk a lot of mess. I caught him in the end of his career. Larry Bird. It was my first year with the Warriors. We played, I think it was the last year at the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden. And I remember going on down the lane, and Parrish came over to block my shot, but I put a nice little finger roll over him. And Larry Bird looked at him and said, "Don't let that dude come down there. You need to block his effing shot." I'm like, Larry Bird said that? I'm like, what? White cat talking best like that? But, boy, that white cat had game, boy. But Gary Payton, boy, nonstop. But he was also a darn good player. He was hard to guard, I tell you.
I know I seen something with Gary Payton. I think last year he won the best trash talking award through the Big Three.
In the Big Three, that's how he was in the league too. I remember him and Hardaway going at it in the playoffs. They were just talking mess the whole game. It was fun to watch. Those were the good old days. And the good thing about talking trash back then, they left it on the court. Right. They didn't take it off the court. It was just part of what he did. He never took it off the court.
Let me ask you this question. With this quarantine coronavirus situation going on, it's almost similar to like a lockout.
Yeah.
You know, you've been a part of a few lockouts. What was your regimen like during those lockout times that you were part of, and what kind of advice you give the guys that's going through this situation right now playing?
Well, the good thing about the lockout, the only good thing about it, they had other sports going on. And we knew we had to train. We knew if the season came on, we got to be on and popping, ready to go. So we had the workouts. We were able to go out and and hang out with your boys and play with your boys. You can't even play with your friends and really work out with your friend in this quarantine, you know. So it's risk. This is tougher, because sports is a great outlet, for a lot of people. When things are not going your way, you throw in a game, your favorite team is playing. That's sort of for 3 hours, that takes you away from your misery. But you don't have that now. You got to sort of watch movies and, like I mentioned earlier, make up schedule. A lot of people got kids at home. So you got to figure out things to do with them. Thank God they got an online schooling, which is outstanding. Back then, we ain't had none of that. With the internet and stuff you can do now, there's some things you can sort of get by on.
What do you think about just the whole social distancing, and you're seeing that their government telling people to not go outside, stay, do your part, but then you still see some people out kind of doing their thing. It's like, dang, how we ever gonna get past this?
No, it's just serious, but I'm a guy from New York, and we got hit the hardest.
Right.
I grew up right in the city. I grew up in Upper West Side Manhattan. My mom is 91, my sister, and she needs 24-hour care. So my sister's with her, thank God. My sister can't really take her outside because she's an older woman with health issues. So we don't want to jeopardize her getting sick. So I've been really keeping a close eye on what's going on in New York. I was about to go visit her a couple weeks ago. This virus came, so I don't get to see my mom much. She has dementia, and it's really, really tough on me because she was the one that really, really believed in me, and she's the one that told me to follow my dreams. So it's been very difficult for me, not just, not being able to see her, touch her, just sit down and look at her and talk to her. So that's been really, really tough. So, but we're a resilient country, man. We're a resilient country. We're going to get through this. We're going to come out better. And I'm hoping people, when I go out, I got mask on, I got my gloves.
I see you with your Houston Rockets mask. You put on a lot of
it. Yeah, I got my Houston Rocky custom made mask. My girl Monica made. So I'm sporting that proudly. But, you got to practice that, man. And, you see the numbers going down. The doctors, you got to listen to the professionals. They know what they're talking about. I love listening to Dr. Fauci on TV because he gives it to you real. I love listening to the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who's showing true leadership in that state. And it's calm, but he gives you the facts, whether they're ugly or not.
Right.
People just want to know the facts. They just want to know the truth. So and they do a good job of doing that.
Speaking of professionals, a guy who knows what he's talking about, your former coach, Rudy T, just got the nomination, Hall of Fame. How proud of that were you?
I was so fired up. Just went on Twitter, man, and just appreciate that guy. I mean, his body of work, I'm like, what took them so long?
Right, I heard it. I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame. I was like, what?
Yeah, not just as a player, but look what he done as a coach.
Right.
The stuff he been through, his story is a great story. This dude almost died at the LA Forum when the guy sucker punched him.
Yeah.
Kermit Washington. Rudy T almost died. He came back and became an all-star after that. Then he transitioned to being a head coach, won back-to-back championships. In our 95 championship run, out of any team in NBA history, we had the hardest road. We beat 3 teams with 60 wins, and we beat a young Orlando Magic team with Penny and Shaq, Horace Grant, Dennis Scott, who had 59 wins. We had no home court, and we won 9 road games.
Wow.
So that was a hell of an achievement. And he sort of started to stretch forward. When he put Robert Horry at the 4, which allowed 4 out and 1 in, which you see a lot now. So Rudy's the one who originated that, allowing Hakeem Olajuwon to really eat. He had the whole paint to himself. We have 4 shooters out there. And then to go on and win a gold medal for his country, I mean, just a great resume. So I'm very happy for him, very excited.
So your Rockets teammates, Sam I am, Vernon Maxwell. Which of them got on your nerves more?
I love both those guys.
You might love both of them, but which one was just like?
Sam, man, his rookie year, Sam just wanted to play so bad because he had Scott Brooks in front of him. Yo, Mario, I need to be out there, man. I need to be out there, man. Come on, man. I need to be out there, man. Well, Sam and Vernon is just nuts. I mean, those are two of my greatest teammates that I ever went to war with. Love both of those guys. Still keep in contact. I just talked to Sam 2 days ago. He's doing great. So proud of what he's doing with the Clippers. He should be a head coach. Vernon's in Charlotte doing his thing. He'll come do stuff for the Rockets periodically, so I get to see him then. It's always great to see those two guys. Two great competitors and two great players, man. Just enjoy being with those guys. After practice, we'll be always together, man. We would always hang together. That's what made that team so special. We were always together on and off the court, and then you saw the chemistry on the court. Talking mess, getting each other fired up, cheering for each other, pushing for each other. Two of my best teammates I ever had in my life, those two guys.
So sticking with the Rockets, you got the 25th year anniversary coming up of the famous Kiss of Death. Just walk us through just those moments that led up to you hitting that shot deep in that corner, coming down, celebrating. Walk us through that moment.
Just 95, being down 3-1 and then listen to AC Green and Charles Barkley count us out, not believing we go come back. So went down there and won game 5 in overtime. So that sort of gave us a little confidence coming back home. So we win game 6 at home. So in the game 7, you got Keem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. I feel we can beat any team on the road anywhere. So it was a great game, high-scoring game. KJ was just killing us. I'm like, can anybody stop this little dude? I think he had 46. And it's funny that he was 20 for 20 from the free throw line. And he missed that 21st free throw, which allowed the game to be tied. So we call a timeout. And of course, we will go number 34, for the money. But we got to, I think Robert, who took the ball out? I'm not sure. Was it Robert? I'm not sure. Who was on the court? It was me, Clyde, Dream. I think Clyde might have took it out. And he gave it to Kenny. And Kenny was sort of at half court, and Danny Ainge was guarding me. So I was in the deep left corner in front of our bench. So Danny Ainge decides to go double, and Kenny, true point guard he is, I got to make the short pass. Robert is at half court. So he passes it to Robert. As that's going on, Clyde sort of flashes towards the top of the key, and it's sort of me in the corner and Dream down low. So Robert spots me open in the corner, and he throws a cross-court pass. And he was worried that pass went kind of long, but the athlete that I am, I went up and got it.
Yes, sir.
So it was me, Danny Shays, and Dream. And I knew Danny Shays wasn't leaving Olajuwon. So that gave me time to set my feet. And I had a great look at the basket. So I caught it, feet was set, and Danny Shays was not coming. I said, I'm going to let this go. And when he saw me cocking the trigger, he decided to try to close out.
It was too late.
And the thing I was thinking, if I missed it, a Dream was there to put it back in. But I wasn't thinking miss. When they left my hand, everything about that shot felt good. And when you hit a clutch shot, you don't want it bouncing around like Kawhi shot like 9 damn times. And then it go in. Mine went all panties, brother. It was no water, but it went through the deck. That thing was I would watch that thing 1,000,001 times. That thing was all net. Then I turned and look at Joe Klein. You know what I did, brother. I just look at that. And boy, that boy was turning red on that sideline, bro. He was turning red over there. I was so focused on him, I really didn't feel my teammates jumping all on me. If you see the picture, I'm just staring at the bench. I was just so in the moment. I really didn't feel my teammates really jumping on me. That's how locked in I was. And I just kept looking at Joe. And that feeling him turning red and being pissed on that sideline. And thank you, Danny Ainge, for doubling off me, buddy. Appreciate you.
So that shot
– death came about.
So when a guy like Kawhi hits a shot like that, or a guy like Ray Allen hits a shot like that, in the finals. So like, you know exactly what them dudes was feeling in that moment because you experienced that.
It's a great feeling, man. And I'm a guy who maybe averaged 8 or 9 points in my career, which is fine. But people still to this day remember, I walk in the streets of Houston, kiss of death. You know, I'm out of town. And man, that shot against Phoenix, Mario, you know, you get recognized when you step up in big moments, and that's pretty cool. A guy like me who was a 7th-round pick, who went Division II, who had to work his butt off to get to the league, and for God to bless me with an 11-year career, winning 3 championships, I couldn't ask for a better career than that, man.
I got a few questions for a couple of people that wanted me to ask you. Our buddy Chris White, C. White.
What's C. White got to say?
C. White says, you still have the game ball from back in the day from that shot.
I do not. You kiss a death shot?
Yeah, he said, you still have the game ball.
No, I think he may have been talking about when I won the finals with the Spurs. I got
okay. I can ask Mario if he still got the game ball and where is it?
I sold it, man. I sold it. When you get older, you have memorabilia, stuff like that. It's just sitting around in the closet. I got jerseys and stuff I want to give away. And at the time, it was important, but now, you know, you're older. And my kids don't care about that stuff. They care about the new age ball players. So,
one of my buddies who lives in Houston, Reese, he said, ask Mario. He's a huge Rockets fan. Grew up a Rockets fan. He said he was a kid when he saw you hit that kiss of death shot. He told me to ask you, your career spans with the Rockets and the Spurs winning championships. Which one meant more and why?
I'm gonna say my second one with the Rockets, because the first one we played the Knicks and they had a big lineup. So usually I'm a guy who plays the 2 and the 3, so I get minutes at both positions. But they had Anthony Mason at that 3 spot, so we needed Robert out there for majority of the minutes. So basically, most of my minutes was backing Vernon up at the 2. But in '95, in the middle of the San Antonio series, Rudy T decided to start me. And then we end up winning that series. Then we play Orlando. And then I have a big series averaging 16, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I shot 60% from 3 that series. I was shooting the lights out of the ball that series. So I felt that I can actually contribute to a championship run. So I think that second one meant a lot to me. But being the first with the Spurs and the Rockets in the great state of Texas, 99 was special, winning at the crib. I'm from New York. I grew up 5 minutes from the Garden.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know this story. We beat the Knicks 4-1. I wore my uniform all damn night. I went to the club with my uniform on and my gaiters. I did not take my Spurs uniform off. And I left the club at 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun was up. I still had my uniform on. So I made it back in the hotel in time to pack my stuff, hop on the plane back to San Antonio. Was still hungover on the plane, was hungover when I got off the plane. That was pretty neat, having my jersey on all night, hanging out with Kenny Smith. He pouring champagne on me all night in the club. Just had a blast. That's some great memories. When you accomplish stuff like that, man, the memories don't never go away.
He was almost pulling like a J.R. Smith when he won championship. Walk around with no shirt
off. J.R., leave the shirt off, man. Leave the shirt off. It's all good. You're not guaranteed you're going to get back there. And as you know, he got back there, but they didn't win it.
So speaking of winning, real quick before I get you out of here, the season had to start back up today. Who you think going to give it a run for the money for the championship?
There's 2 teams I do like. I love LeBron and AD. AD to me has to prove that he can do it in the playoffs, in clutch situations. But the Clippers' depth, coaching experience, you got championship coaches on that sideline, Sam, Ty Lue, Doc Rivers, all coaches who won championships. Then you got 2 guys you can put on LeBron. AD's going to be the problem. They really don't have a matchup for him, but they do got 2 guys that can guard LeBron, and LeBron will have to guard them also at the other end. Right. And also, I like the Milwaukee Bucks. I like what Giannis and them are doing out there in Milwaukee. He's taken his game to another level, and they defend. And he's playing like a guy on a mission. He really got stymied by the Raptors last year. So to me, he came back even better than last year. I know everybody talking about LeBron for MVP. The numbers Giannis is putting up, and he don't got a superstar like AD with him.
Right.
I know Chris Middleton is an all-star, but he's not a superstar.
Right.
LeBron and AD, both of those guys are superstars. And for what Giannis is doing out there in the East, it's pretty impressive. But Boston is a sleeper team for me, and Toronto is a sleeper team for me. I love what Miami is doing down there. They play hard, but to me, they just don't have enough talent.
What about your Rockets?
They solid. I don't know about small ball. You know, I mean, we need size, man. You gotta have size out there, getting out rebounded. We gotta depend on guys making threes on a consistent basis. As you see, it's been inconsistent. They won a couple big games, then you lose to the Knicks. You get blown out by the Magic. It's a lot of inconsistency with that style of play, and your small guys got to be able to score and play D. You know, back in our small lineup in Golden State, we got guys who can do both. You know, PJ Tucker's going to have to get 12 or 14 points a game for them to be successful, especially in the playoffs when you're playing good competition.
Right.
Because this Western Conference playoffs this year was going to be the bomb. But, yeah, those are my teams. I would love for the Rockets to go far, but the small ball, I love what Westbrook and Harden are doing. But the other guys are going to have to step up and score. I don't know if they can do that. And Eric Gordon been in and out the lineup for you. I know they depend a lot on him.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on No Referees Podcast, Mr. Elie. And everybody go find him on Twitter at Mario Elie 1 and on Instagram at Mario Elie 17. I ain't gonna lie, when I found it on Instagram, I didn't think that was your page. I thought it was a fan page because you only had like 4 posts on there.
Yeah, I'm not a big Instagram guy, but my daughter said, "Dad, you gotta get on the Instagram." So my daughter organized all my Instagram stuff. So just post one thing a day. So
yeah,
take advice from the ladies to the house. They know what they talking about.
I appreciate it, sir. Thanks for giving us some time. You and your family stay safe during this quarantine and get back to work soon.
Same to you, my brother. And call me anytime. Love to chop it up with you again, big boy.
Yeah,
thank you, my man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the No Referees Podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to this show and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on social media at No Referees Pod. Till the next episode, we out.